Grade 7 will be doing monologues of the not so famous. But if you know the person, they're not going to tell you the name of the person. If you know the person, let us know. There was one of the persons on our bulletin board, grade 7's bulletin board. They're going to come out and they're going to do the monologue. There are about 5 of them. You guess who they are. All right?
Hello, everyone. Well, I'll tell you about my life right now. I was born June 30th, 1943. I grew up in the African American church, loving to sing worship melodies to worship my God. As I grew up, each day I knew I had great talent. So I decided to use my talent for good. I would rush home each day to hear the news, and something caught my ears, the great news about the Civil War. But I was 15, so I just shrugged it off and let all the years pass by. When I was 20 years old, I became a backup singer for the Supremes. Yes, the Supremes. Most of you have heard of them. But I sang my heart out, no matter what position or situation I was in. If the manager was sick, I would take over his or her spot. If the lead singer was sick, I would take her spot. That's how much courage I showed to all my work. By the time I was 24, I met a handsome, lean young man. His name was Thomas Chapman. He bowed on one knee and he asked me to marry him. So after we spent the afternoons and jungle room, I decided to take a stand for me, a stand for my future. I became a Civil War activist. I learned more song genres in order to inspire people about the Civil War. By the age of 31, I enjoyed my life so deeply, but then something hit me. At the age of 32, February 22nd, 1976, I died of a cardiac arrest. Even though I was not alive, my music did live on. My fans believe that I changed everything in this venomous world. There, I ended as the great Civil War singer. It was the time of my life, even though 15 wasn't so much as great as I hoped it to be. But I loved it dearly. So what is going to happen is that I continued making my speeches until the day I died. And I died September 8th, 1880. So my legacy has been going on throughout all the world. If you hear one of my famous speeches, think of me, not anyone else. It's my famous speeches. I will present it to you right now, but sorry. And now, I died of a heart attack, just like my husband. But at least I get to see him up in the heavens with my Heavenly Father. I had faith in God before I died. And now, you all know. Thank you.
Walking, letting no one know. My mom tried to help me, but that did not work. So I knew deep down in my heart that I had to help my people. And that is why I created this railroad. I am black, of course, but that doesn't mean that I can't start a goal. For 40 years, I led the National Council of Negro Women, the highest level of the civil rights movement I was in. Giving up on everything wasn't an option. Had to fight hard for this nation. As for my achievements, I was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Amazing moments happened to me.
NAACP Youth Council. And I'm very proud of that.
Oh, wow.
In 1960, during the fall times, I joined Morehouse College as a freshman. And in Morehouse as a freshman, I became activist on the civil rights movement by joining a student organization called the Atlanta Committee of Appeal for Human Rights. I was one of the original 13 freedom riders that departed from Washington, D.C. I boarded the Trailways bus on May 4th, 1961. When I joined the bus, I had many troubles. One of the biggest troubles was when two white Klansmen joined on when I was in Alaska. And when I was there, they were making threats. They were making threats such as, "You nigger will get taken care of in Alabama." I was furious when they said this, but I held back. When eventually the black riders did not want to move to the back of the bus, one of the Klansmen rushed me, punching me in the face, pummeling me with fists and feet. Then I was beaten and pained and dragged to the back of the bus. Once I got to Alabama, I tried to use the whites only counter, and I got hit in the back of the head with a lead pipe. But I escaped, and I'm still alive. I was able to make it to Fred Shuttleworth's parsonage and live a life of non-violence, because that's the way I prefer.
Martin Luther King Jr., are you Martin Luther King? Let's go.
I am Charles Person, the Freedom Rider.
I am the Queen of Civil Rights to help my people be free. I tried to stop segregation with my partner Martin Luther King Jr.
point of view, and so they will be presenting to us how Adventism was introduced to the colored people in the South.
One day, in Battle Creek on business, Edson found a tract containing an appeal his mother had made to the church in 1891. It was 1895. The town still showed signs of General Grant's ravaging attack during the Civil War. In 1876, a strong flood had diverted the river channel, leaving a sizable lake that was connected to the river by a narrow canal. The upper end of the lake was fed by the Yazoo River. We docked just below the flow at Fort Hill.
Vicksburg seems like a pleasant little city. I'm sure it is. It looks really peaceful from the boat. Did you know there are some 200 colored churches in Vicksburg?
That seems a great number to me.
It is, and it shows you how the colored people are reaching out for the Lord. Do you see that small one at the top of the bluff? That is Mount Zion Baptist Church.
Yes, I see it.
Their preacher is a former slave. He was once given 200 lashes for owning a hymnal that he couldn't even read. I plan to use his church for services next Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights.
Services on Sunday?
I don't think we should bust our Sabbath on people.
Edson, this is the deep south. Will we be in danger?
I don't think so. I'll need your help on those nights.
Good. It will be great to finally get to work among the people.
Think so. So let's go.
A majority of the colored people in the South were illiterate. It became obvious that to show them the present truth, a school must be started. We used the gospel primer as our basic teaching tool. The classes were an instant success. Vicksburg did provide schools of a sort for colored children, but they were so overcrowded that large numbers were unable to attend. Nothing in the way of learning opportunities was offered for colored adults.
Well, I want to go attend Sunday school at the Baptist church.
Edson, you've been going on preaching at Sunday school for several weeks now. When are you going to introduce the Sabbath?
I don't think it would be wise to thrust our Saturday Sabbath on the people so soon.
But we keep the Sabbath ourselves here on the road. They must think it's very strange to hear singing and praying on Saturday.
Well, nobody told me anything about it.
One morning, Katie Holton was working in her garden when she heard singing and praying on Saturday.
What is it, Katie?
Sabbath made?
When God created the world,
Look in your Bible at Genesis 2, verse 3. What does it say?
it says God rested on the seventh day. God rested on the seventh day when the world was made.
Have you ever heard of something in the Bible having a change in it?
No.
Well, that's why we keep Saturday.
Well, I'm gonna keep it too. The next day, Katie Holton asked the same questions and got the same answers. Katie told her friend Hannah Washington, who was also convinced. Meanwhile, the boat's cook had talked to two young men about the Sabbath, and they decided to come as well. Within 2 weeks after Katie heard the music drifting up on the lake, 5 new members joined the boat crew in worshiping on the seventh-day Sabbath. As the number of Sabbath keepers attending services on the Morning Star grew, local pastors noticed the loss of members and of offerings. The pastors reacted with anger and talked bluntly to their people against the Southern Missionary Society and its members.
Miss Amy, I'd like to speak a word with you. Surely, Reverend Brown, won't you sit down? No! All I can say, I was just saying standing up. You seem upset. I'm very upset. I've been missing you and your husband at church for 3 days now. I've been found out you've been attending the ball down at the monastery. Yes, we have, Reverend Brown. What put that fool notion in your head? Look out, 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Give it thou. Y'all haven't got the education to know what the Bible means. That's what we're paid for. Yeah. That's what we're paid for. So you should not be going down with those rubber rats.
When we're around, you will not give your money to the devil while we're around. Suddenly, every church in Pittsburgh was close to us. The ministers had become infuriated at the losses of membership. Those who had accepted the seventh-day Sabbath were put under tremendous pressure, but everyone was steadfast. The meetings on the Morning Star grew so quickly that within a month had increased our classes before. In order to contain them all, I rented a hall in town for $10 a month until a church could be built. With the work